It was the year 639 AD. Sorrowful years had passed since the collapse of the Eastern Turkic Khaganate, and thousands of Turkic nobles and soldiers were condemned to live in captivity in the Chinese capital, Chang'an. The Chinese Empire planned to assimilate the Turks and wipe them from the stage of history. However, Kürşad, who came from the lineage of the Göktürk Khagans and served as an officer in the Chinese army, saw his nation drifting toward extinction and decided to put an end to this course of events. To break the chains of captivity and regain the independence of the Turkish nation, Kürşad founded a secret revolutionary organization with 40 loyal brothers in arms, and they swore an oath at the cost of their lives. The plan was bold and dangerous. Chinese Emperor Taizong had the habit of wandering the city at night in disguise. Kürşad and his companions would capture the emperor on the street, take him hostage, and then abduct him to Ottoman. In return, they would demand the freedom of the Turkish nobles held in the Chinese palace and the independence of their homeland. Everything had been calculated to the finest detail. But when that awaited night arrived, they faced an unexpected twist of fate. A violent storm and torrential rain gripped the city, so the emperor did not step out of his palace. Kürşad was certain that if the plan were postponed, the secret organization would be revealed and such an opportunity would never be seized again. Turning to his friends, he made the decision that would change the course of history. If the emperor would not come out, they would go in. That night, 40 Turkish warriors raided the Chinese imperial palace under the rain. Their numbers were but a handful, yet their rage and faith were equal to armies. A fierce, hand-to-hand battle began with the palace guards. Kürşad and his warriors neutralized hundreds of guards and managed to approach the emperor's bedchamber. However, seeing that capturing the palace was impossible against the thousands of reinforcements arriving from outside, Kürşad ordered a retreat from the city, taking horses from the palace stables to protect his friends and, at the very least, withdraw with honor. With the massive Chinese army behind them, they reached the outskirts of the city, arriving at the banks of the Wei River. But the escape route was cut off. The river, overflowing from the excessive rain, had washed away the bridge. Before them lay raging waters, and behind them, an enemy army of tens of thousands. Kürşad and his 40 warriors chose death over the shame of surrender. Charging their horses into the enemy, they fought until their last arrows were spent, their swords were broken, and their final breaths were exhausted. They all fell to the ground on that riverbank,